My name is Roger Reynolds. I have been in the health professional business for over 45 years. For the last 31 years, I have worked as a director of consultant for Dr. Kenneth Cooper and director of contract relations for Dr. Kenneth Cooper at the world-renowned Cooper Institute. In that role, I've had the honor of traveling throughout the world, working with a variety of industries. Early on, I was one of the first pioneers to establish corporate fitness programs across America. We spent a lot of time trying to find out how physical activity could help people who were at the workforce. I was also a professional athlete, and in that role as an athlete, I knew the value of a conditioned body and what it meant to be super conditioned to compete. If we had the same research that we had back in 1965, we would probably not be doing much different. In 1950s and the early 60s, guess what the American Medical Association said we should do for heart attack victims? This was AMA recommendation. What do you think it was? It was bed rest, 12 to 16 weeks. Because they didn't understand the relationship of activity to the heart disease problem or the attack. Because they first didn't understand fully the heart attack cause. These were young people. Now we have younger people subjected to vascular trouble. Can anybody guess what we do with heart attack victims now? In less than 12 hours following the heart attack, heart surgery, open heart surgery, they can be doing passive exercise. Within 3 days or so, they can have them up and moving and out of the hospital. We've never fully understood the paradigm shift of the value of physical activity. We're not getting ready to play a game on Sunday. We're getting ready to stop a heart attack from happening. We're not getting ready to go out here and do something to fight a war. We're getting ready to help my diabetes. It's a different war front. It's a different enemy. The enemy now comes from within. In the years past, we have excluded programs and provided programs for those who needed it the most. And sometimes I found in my career, the ones who needed it the most were not doing much at all to help themselves. My background goes to all levels, from senior citizens down to children, that I've worked with all ages and all genders, if you will, and I've traveled throughout the world in that capacity. So I've had the honor of working and developing programs for the military, the law enforcement community, fire service, Native Americans, if you will, also the government, and also to help set up the exercise facility for the White House, if you will. So in that role, I have had the honor and privilege of seeing how physical activity becomes a major asset in helping people live better lives. Throughout history, we have learned the lesson of sedentary living or inactivity. Inactivity in some of the research today has demonstrated that almost 1 in every 10 deaths throughout the world are attributed to inactivity. We're not asking, and I don't think anybody asked for someone to go out and try to spend the time that they did when they were 15 and 20 years of age to take care of their body. What we have learned is that there are stages that we go through that we have to learn to adjust, if you will. This is not a 90-day wonder program. I don't think we should look at a 30-day, 30 pounds off. Those are all indicators that somebody is trying to sell us something that might possibly work short term, but it would not change the behavior. What we want here is a changing of people's behavior as the way they view themselves and the way they view activity. Now, this was summarized and well documented by Dr. Prochaska and his colleagues, and explained to us, that's world known now today, starting with smoking cessation and other forms of behavior addictions, that we go through stages of change. I think the cardiovascular exercise, which would include also a recumbent bike, one which you're sitting down and pumping forward, which we have, and that you would then pumping forward here. I think that is the hub of your program. To me, the hub, or the actual hub of the exercise program for the senior hinges around cardiovascular. Probably 70% or so of our time should be devoted to a combination of cardiovascular movement, whether it be in 1, 2, 3, or 4 different ways, which I believe from weight bearing to non-weight bearing. We need a little bit weight bearing, such as walking. We need the non-weight bearing, which is on a bike.
And we need the dynamic strength, which is shoulders and arms and core, to hold myself up properly so that my back doesn't begin to hurt.
Let me say thank you for taking the time to look at this video.